First of all, thank you so much for considering using Studley as one of your study tools. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can make the most out of the platform and how you can start using it to start crushing your exams, getting 100% on every single paper, and most importantly, have fun while studying. But before I do that, I want to tell you that this whole site, everything that you see has been built and designed by students because personally, we have noticed that there are hundreds, maybe even thousands of platforms out there, but they're all missing one thing or another. They either have one feature but are missing 10 more, or they either have all the features but are just non-intuitive, or they just don't feel and look good. So our goal is to bring everything into one powerful platform, make it 10 times better, and make it more affordable. Now, without further ado, let's get into it. So when you first log into Studley, you're going to be taken to the study sets page. Now, a study set is a singular topic or a few files that you're really trying to master. For example, let's just go ahead and download the slides deck on personality disorder from my psychology class. Now, you can also record a live lecture, or you can upload a YouTube video or a website or raw text, or you can upload any type of file, whether that is image, PDF, PowerPoints, audio files, whatever it may be. You can upload up to 5 files. So let's just go ahead and upload the slides deck. Now I'm going to be taken into this page where I have to select all the methods that I want to include in my study set. Now personally, I like to include, my favorite ones are notes, multiple choice, flashcards, podcasts, and probably fill in the blank. But for the sake of this video, let's just go and choose all of them. By the way, you can choose the difficulty and the amount of questions that you want to generate. Let's just go with extreme. So we want a lot of questions, or we want to go with maximum difficulty. And you can also choose your podcast guests that we have. So
hi, welcome to Studley AI.
That's Anna. Anna and Michael are probably my favorite. And you can also choose the length of the podcast. So let's just go, for the sake of this video, choose all of these options and click generate. Now, you're going to be taken to that study sets interface. And boom, not even a few seconds later, you have a fully highlighted, beautiful, editable, and interactive notes that you can even add images if you wanted to. You can add tables, whatever it may be. It already makes all of these for you so that you just go through them and you understand. And if you have any questions, you can ask the chat box right here, and you can view the content on the right side as well. Now, let's just move down the hierarchy. So notes is the first thing, super editable, super interactive, beautiful. The next thing is multiple choice. This is our most used feature. So everyone loves multiple choice because it really is exactly like the questions that you see on the exam, because it tests your understanding and not your memory, and also keeps track of your progress. And also, if you have specific topics within that study set that you want to focus on, you can also choose and customize them here. And every time you get it wrong, it gives you the option to get the correct answer explained. And every time you get it right, every time you get it right, it updates the tag and it moves it up in the hierarchy so that you know what you do know and what you don't know. And then if you have any questions, of course, you can either look at your notes, or you can ask the chat box, or you can go to that original file and look at the content. Isn't that so sweet? This is everything that I wish I had when I was a student in high school or college. Now I'm a last year senior, and I wish I had this when I was a student. Now, you guys are lucky. So the next thing is flashcards. Flashcards, absolutely proven to be one of the best ways to study. You can either add your own flashcards or edit your own as well, your flashcards that are already made as well. And of course, keeps track of all your progress. And if you have any questions, you can ask, or you can look at the notes. And then the next thing is fill in the blank. This is also something fun to do while you are studying. And just like everything else, you can filter by topic, keep track of your progress, everything. Now, the written test is one of the hardest in my opinion, because it really tests your understanding. It doesn't give you any hints or anything. It just tells you whether you know it or not. But the good thing about the written test is even if you word stuff differently, if the answer and the overall concept that you're writing is correct, it's still going to mark it as correct. You don't have to give the exact same wording or everything, if that makes sense. So for example, now let's say the correct answer is this, right? Now, if I go back to that question, instead of me typing this whole thing, instead of that, if I just paraphrase this real quick. So a personality disorder info enduring. So if I just don't even write any of that, if I just write involves, okay, now if I write just that much, it's still going to mark me as correct because I know the overall topic. I know what I'm talking about. So it just tests your understanding and not your memory, which is so good. And then tutor lesson is also amazing. It teaches it to you from zero, without assuming that you know anything. So if you want to really learn something from the fundamentals, I would recommend the tutor lesson as well. We're also bringing a lot of improvements and have ways to go on all of these. So these are all going to improve as the time comes, and we move really fast. So now the last thing is the podcast, which just generated. So this podcast is amazing for a few reasons. So first of all, you have...
Hey, Michael. I was just reading up on personality disorders, and it's quite a complex topic. Dr. Natalie
It's just so informative, and it sounds so natural. And look, I just chose 10 minutes, or I chose short, and it generated 10 minutes. Now you can generate up to like 40-minute podcasts, and you can listen to it while you're sitting in a bus, or listen to it while you're running or you're in the gym. Whatever you do, you can listen to a podcast about your course material, which helps you understand. And then while you're listening, if you have any questions, you can raise your hands. Hey, so tell me a little bit more about this. Like, what is the overall idea on this podcast?
The podcast focused on personality disorders, defining them as patterns of behavior.
Isn't that amazing?
That significantly
and you can still talk to it while you're going
to
other pages.
They discussed how these are different from typical personality traits and are stable over time, starting in adolescence or early adulthood. They also broke down the
different you can ask questions on the side.
Disorders. Does that summary sound accurate to you?
Yes, that sounds amazing. I'm currently listening to you while making a YouTube video and while browsing all of my other study sets. So I'm looking at the notes right now while I'm talking to you, which is amazing.
That's great that you're able to multitask. It sounds like you're really engaged in learning about this. Let me know if you have any other questions.
Thank you, Anna. That's enough. Okay, one last thing that I forgot to mention is that we have a mobile app as well where you can access all of the same exact study sets from the website, but there's a very nice feature on top of everything, which is called the Solve tab. Now, the Solve tab is where you can take a picture of any question, no matter what subject or any topic it's on, and boom, it gives you instantly gives you the answers, and boom, we even have dark mode for you. Can you believe it? We even added dark mode for you guys. This is absolutely everything that you need for the rest of your degree, for the rest of your years in school, to ace all of your tests, to study for anything that you need. This is all you need. We have Notion, we have Goth, we have Photomath, we have everything that you need into one spot, and we have ways to go. And there's so many new things and so much more coming, where you're going to get to the point where Studley is going to be the only thing any student needs around the world to ace and to be a successful student. Thank you so much. Please make sure to send us feedback. We're always reading you guys' comments, your emails, and we're adding everything. And I know we have ways to go and there are so many improvements to be made, but trust me, we got you and we're going to make it happen. Thank you so much.